MiniWarGaming rules you got wrong.
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Rules You Got Wrong Warhammer Fantasy Edition. This might be a short video. Normally I would skip a video if, or a week of Rules You Got Wrong if there was very few comments, but there were a couple that made me look in the rule book I'm not too sure on. So, these are all from the same guy. His name is the Welsh Bloke. Generally, I trust what you say, the Welsh Bloke, because you've commented before and you're pretty good. But there's a couple I'm not quite too sure about. So we'll talk about them. I'm not saying you're wrong. I may have been wrong. I'm not quite sure, but we'll talk about them and get people to weigh in on this because I don't have an actual answer. So, at 2-3 minutes in, remember that a wizard cannot use a dispel scroll if he's failed to dispel earlier in that phase. I never interpreted it that way.
Was that your scroll that was used?
Yeah,
was
so
that my scroll?
my wizard, my level 4 had a scroll.
Mm-hmm.
You cast a spell, I tried to dispel it, and I failed to dispel it with a dice.
Yep.
Your next spell, I used a dispel scroll.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't happen exactly like that, but that's the gist
of course. That's how the question went down.
Why do I do this? Can you find the part in this section right here about dispelling? So, when you dispel, you nominate a model to dispel or your army. I nominated obviously that wizard, so you can add his levels to the spell. And then he rolls dice and dispels it. And if he fails to dispel it, he has a thing called right here. Right down here. Furthermore, the wizard is so preoccupied by his collapsing dispel that he is unable to attempt another later in the phase. Mm-hmm. Just as casting a spell. Now, when you read Dispel Scroll, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be argumentative, you may very well be right. I'm just not sure. So I don't come off too argumentative. Dispel Scroll. When an enemy spell has been cast, a wizard who has a Dispel Scroll can read it instead of attempting to dispel the dice by using Dispel dice. The spells automatically this automatically dispels the enemy spell. So he is dispelling it, but is he doing it as an item doing it?
Oh,
so
yeah, no.
Honestly,
I can see where
I see the argument, and
yeah.
I fully accept the interpretation. It can be both ways. I may be wrong. So because I can't find the answer just in the FAQ, what I would like any of you viewers to do, and the Welsh Bloke, by all means, if you want to comment again on this video, Rules You Got Wrong. What do and it's hard to find all tournament rules because most of them have been pulled off the net. How is this interpreted in events or tournaments? I know I don't like to always use tournament rules, but if there's a general consensus where a wizard with a dispel scroll can't use it after he tries to roll dice, I accept that.
Yeah, no, reading that, it makes sense why some people can interpret it each way.
Well, okay, just off of that, what would you think? Would you say you can't use the dispel scroll, or would you say you can?
Because it does say he may read it instead of attempting to dispel.
Yeah.
So does that mean he has to be able to attempt to dispel? Or, because then I can understand it is a magic item where you just simply read it and it goes away.
The thing is, you can't roll dice and then read the scroll.
Exactly.
So, you know what? I'm actually leading a little bit away in the Welsh Bloke. He might be right. It might be not usable after you attempt a roll. So, again, waiting below, guys. I don't have an answer for this one 100%. I don't want to switch to that and
have it be
wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is, we've done this in dozens of videos in the past, and nobody's commented on it. Maybe nobody's noticed it, nobody's caught it, but we have it in this one.
Yeah, it's definitely had to have come up in a past video at least once. Like,
for sure it has, but nobody's commented on it, so I didn't know it was wrong. If it was wrong, but it might be wrong. So again, guys, help me out here. If you can point out, if you can send me a link to Tournament Pack, if you can find it in the FAQ, but if I couldn't find it, I don't think it's there. Not that, help me out, see if I'll give you the answer with this one. So, what's the next one? This one I didn't know, I actually learned from him. Same guy, the Welsh Bloke. Units can't divide types of shots they make between single and multiple shot in a unit.
Oh.
The thing is, I thought it was all the weapons had to fire the same profile. Because you have brace of pistols.
Brace of pistols and then the brace of repeater pistols.
Correct. Well, it's a repeater pistol and a pistol. But yeah,
okay.
So it's two different weapons. I thought that Cullen was able to fire the repeater pistol multiple shots.
Yep.
And the rest of the guy can choose.
Yeah.
I thought it was by weapon, not by unit. But reading the rule, you were absolutely right, sir, Mr. the Welsh Bloke. It is by unit. So
everything has to be one or the other.
So
okay.
You learned something on that one. Thank you. I mean, this edition is 8 years old, and I'm still learning rules.
Again, sometimes things like that don't always come up right away. So.
Yeah. Now, here's the next one, too. Again, I'm not trying to be argumentative. It's just I interpreted it differently. You cannot target models with spells if they're in combat unless the spell specifically says otherwise. See choosing a target in the magic section. Furthermore, you resolve the spell incorrectly. Pendulum causes models to take a strength 10, D3 multiple wounds if they fail initiative attack. I'm going to resolve that for a second first. I did Pendulum wrong. I deleted the clip and did it right. But what what happened is
I remember that. Yeah.
Well, here's what happened because they don't know that. Here's what happened. I did Pendulum wrong, redid it right, and then deleted the right one. Oh. So you guys saw that was my mistake. We did that one wrong.
Yes. Okay.
So you remember that one?
Yes, I remember. I remember redoing it. Yeah. Oops.
My bad. Now, secondly, a couple of you have said, and Welshbloke was the first one to say it, that the pendulum couldn't have hit the halberdiers because they were in combat.
Yes, I do remember seeing that comment as well.
But I didn't target them.
No, you didn't.
Under direct damage, which pendulum is, it says a unit cannot be targeted. Even as a template, you can't place a template into combat. There's no template. I draw a direct line, and I'm lined up at the artillery piece. That line, after I roll the multiple dice, hits the halberdiers as well. Granted, it'd be impossible for it not to.
Yes.
But they weren't the target, and there was no template involved.
Yes.
I think
it sounds like, and I can understand exactly where that came from, because that doesn't, if it just happens to cross that line.
I think that spell is okay to hit units in combat. I know it's very abusable, which I actually did in that battle report. I went in the side of a horde and saying I'm going after the Hellblaster volley gun and going through a bunch of models. Again, way in below, if organizations events or tournaments have said no, you can't do that because it is a random distance spell. But I definitely did take advantage of that, so I can accept the answer being no. But rules as written,
there's nothing really that saes anything about.
Yeah.
You cannot place it in such a way that it hits units that are engaged in close combat.
Correct. Okay. So, what if this is my wizard, this is a unit I'm firing at, they're not in combat, and way back here is another of his units that's in combat, and I happen to roll 24 inches. I rolled nothing but 6s, and it goes all the way through. Does the spell not work because I also hit something in combat?
You just hit the one thing?
Exactly. It would hit my guys in combat, it would hit your guys. I think you're incorrect about that one. But again, if it's been ruled otherwise, I will accept that. I totally accept that. So guys, help me out. I don't have a lot of access to I can't find the tournament pack rules anywhere anymore.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff has been either taken off or hidden.
Yeah, I actually spent the entire day trying to find them, but maybe my Google Fu is not very good.
Your Kung Google Fu?
My Kung Google Fu?
Sounds like a dish.
Now I'm hungry. Okay. So yeah, that's it for rules you got wrong this week. Multiple shots did wrong. Learned a lesson.
Yep.
Dispel thing. Yeah, I can definitely. You know what? I'm starting to side with you. You might be right. I think you're right. But we'll see how the comments go. And the second one, the third one, the pendulum, the way that spell worked. I think I disagree, but I can be swayed. And if it's been ruled otherwise, by all means,
point it out to me. That's another one I can see going either way.
Yeah. And if you guys can point out which event, if possible.
Make it easier for us to find. And
try to do me a favor and just say your comment of nope, it can't hit them. I'm going to ignore that comment. Give me some reference, back it up with something. Just give me more than nope or yep.
A page number or a package number or something.
Anything,
so we can find a PDF for that rule set or something like that.
I'll totally accept it. So that's it for this week. Rules You Got Wrong, Warhammer Fantasy Edition. Keep posting those comments because it helps us learn the games better. Welshbloke, very much appreciated, dude. Thank you very much. Keep posting yourself and I don't know, weigh in if you have more to say on this particular subject.
Weigh in.
Happy Wargaming. I'm over at the computer ready to dump this, and I'm just want to add that, same argument as the pendulum. If it overshoots and hits my own unit, they're not a viable target. You can't target your own unit with direct damage. Does the spell not able to go off because it hit your own unit?
Does that cancel the entire spell? Does it cancel half of the spell? Does the template stop?
Right, so obviously every place as if it hits your own unit, that's what we do. So I think that's another argument that the pendulum can be cast through unit in combat.
Yep, if it happens to fall on the line.
If it happens to fall on the line, which I definitely took advantage and tried to do. All right, there you go. Happy warming, wargaming once again. Happy warming.